And as I said, I don't have a smartphone, and it's really not too clever. I'm afraid to take his IQ because it might not pass the test. I am trying to sell you something. I know that. You may not know it. You may think I'm trying to teach you Arabic, but I'm not. I'm trying to sell you on an idea on how to study Arabic. Anybody can teach you words, but it's not about just making words or making sounds. That's not what it's about. You do have to learn to make the sound, but that's not what it's about. Allah tells us what it's about in the Quran. So, Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan la'allakum ta'qilun. Surely we have revealed it in Arabic Quran that you might understand, or that you might learn wisdom. So it's really about understanding, and there's a process involved in that understanding, and that's what we want to share with you. Inshallah, we want to quickly review the sound system. But those of you who are new, are wondering if I'm keeping up, since I'm trying to sell, if I'm keeping up with Brother Akbar, our leader has taken care of that, because you can always go and review 24/7. All right, so you don't have to say, well, I don't understand what our Jim said. Go to Mosque's and click on it and see what did he say. If you didn't like it that time, back it up, do it again until you get it. That's how it must be done. I'm serious. That's how it must be done. We don't know it. We think, we get disgusted with ourselves. I just don't understand that Arabic. Well, you didn't understand English either, but you kept listening, didn't you? You didn't say, Mama, I don't know what you're talking about. You kept listening until finally you got it. And next thing you started doing was babbling back. Do you know that that's one of the words for the language in Arabic? Is babbling? I'm talking about how we say the Arabic language? There's two ways to say the Arabic language. We say lisan Arabiya, that means the tongue. But lugatul Arabiya is babbling. That's how man started off, just babbling. And then they began to make agreements on those sounds that they were babbling, because he was trying to get an idea in his head to your head. And so he babbled until we finally agreed upon certain sounds, and we come up with a system, and that system is called language. That's for all languages. No language came here with birth. Man had to learn speech. Isn't that what Allah says? He had to teach him speech and intelligence. All right? So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. I can put this on the side since we got the magic board here. But I am going to take this, inshallah, quickly. We're not going to stay on it because we have presented it already. And so we're going to just go over it briefly for the basis, because today we want to start learning words. That's the reason why we're not going to. And this has already been presented. But so for those of you who may be new, we're presenting it quickly so that you can know what to go and look for on Mosque's, all right? This is the sound system. This is it. All the sounds that are in the Arabic language are right here on this first line. No more sound in the language. I'm repeating that. No more sound in the language than these 10 sounds across here. Actually, there's these 3 right here. And then these 3 are shortened. And then they're mixed up over here 4 times. That's all the sound that there is. After that, thank you, brother. Thank you.
That's okay. We're going to get an easel for you.
All right.
You want this here?
Yes, sir. That'd be fine. Okay. After that, we are working with these sounds. Musicians would call it improvising. You have a note and you improvise on that note. But this is all the sound that is in the language. If you can digest that and accept that, you have made a big step. And believe me, that big step is called agreement. And no language is learned without agreement. No language. It's agreement between the users of those sounds that they say. They have no meaning except the meaning that they agree upon. You remember that? Only meaning that any word has is the meaning that we, and that's why languages change quickly. Because I see some new faces. That's the reason why I want to hit this right quick. When I was a boy, this phrase I'm about to use right now didn't mean what it means now. What's up? Yeah. Nothing to it. But When I was a boy, somebody say, what's up? I look up to see you. Well, I started telling you what's up there, right? But not now. We don't do that anymore. So that's just to show you how, and that agreement didn't come from sitting around a round table either, did it? It just came from using it. Okay, so let's go on quickly, because you can catch all this. It's already been recorded. So I just want to review these sounds right quickly today, because we're going to be using these sounds. We're going to present a couple of words to you. Not a lot of words, but just a couple of words so that you can understand this system that we're talking about. I could present more words just for the sound, but that's not what we don't want to end with just the sound. We want to go to understanding. Ta'qilun. That's the word, ta'qilun. La'itlikum ta'qilun. Ta'qilun is translated to mean understand or get wisdom. It really means make the connections, all right? Let's quickly go over this. And by the way, even these marks don't say anything. If you think they do, I'll be quiet. You don't hear them saying anything, do you? And they will not say anything as long as they're here. These are marks that represent. That's all letters do, is represent the sounds that have been agreed upon. Those sounds represent the thoughts that have been agreed upon connected with those sounds, right? That's all just agreement. So we want you to don't write. The reason why I'm saying is don't ever sit down to take notes in Arabic class and write English letters. That's the point I'm making on that. You're already in disagreement with yourself when you do that. You're going to write an A and a B. You're already in disagreement, which is because you say you want to learn Arabic, but the letters are no good. And that's not good for progress. All right. We're just going to go over this one time. And then we're going to go over the other chart one time, and then we're going to go on to introducing a few words, all right? I will say it aloud, and then you say it together after me, all right? A. E. O. A. E. O. A-I. E-U. Ui. E-U. Again, this is already on Moscow's recorded, so you can go with the whole chart. The rest of these three lines down here doing nothing but dealing with these same sounds, but from a different starting point or stopping point, or starting and stopping. That's what consonant letters do. The vowel letters and sounds are represented by signs, and everything else represents the sounds, and everything else is representing positions. Consonant letters represent positions in which to start making a sound or to stop making a sound. So what we're going to do, instead of going over the whole chart for that, we're just going to go over one sound with each of the consonant letters so that you can see how these consonant letters influence that one sound. We chose one sound only, that's A. The reason why is because A lets you hear more clearly the distinction between certain letters. There are 14 letters that have a partner, or sometimes they're in triplets. They're down at the bottom here, all right? We will go over those also. So A lets you hear, whereas I does not. You can hear it if you know what you're listening for, but the difference between ta and ti, T and T is or let's see, T and T, or two and two. It's not enough to hear. Two different letters though. You will see it in the writing, but in sound you won't hear. So we use A only, okay, for this whole chart here. So all you're going to hear on this sound, on this chart here is what? A. But it's going to sound different when we start making it from different positions. And we're going to be making all of them from different positions, but it's going to be one sound. I will say it after. I'll say it. You say it after me. All right. Ba. Ta. Ta. Tha. Ja. Ha. Ha. Ka. Da. Za. Ra. Za. Sa. Sha. Saw. Do. To. Vo. I. Ga. Fa. Ko. Ke. Le. Me. Ne. Ha. We. Yeah. All right, now that's all of the different positions from which that sound can start. It could stop in those positions also. Okay. So that gives us the syllable types, but we won't go through all of that because you can go back on Moscares and get the syllable types also. Everything that is said in any language is said in syllables. A man cannot speak